Eagles have punted last 3 times they've had it. Foles keeps it, throws it too high, and he is picked off. They're going to give it to Breeland, and Breeland is down inside the 35. We'll take another look at it, as will they. Penalty flags at the end of the play. Foles is down, injured, and a fight breaks out. The last thing the league needs right now is some brawl along the sideline here in Philadelphia, and it looks like it's calmed down. But we'll look, as will they, because it's a turnover, at what they called an interception by Breeland, but it looked like he did not secure it before the ball hit the ground. Meanwhile, Foles is injured and getting a lot of attention out there at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, while this is going on, then you see that they're tending to Nick Foles to find out the severity of his injury. We'll see if there's any ejections that take place based on what just happened.
Well, first let's look at what has been ruled an interception.
Well, Breeland, he forgot he's in the NFL. First of all, I mean, he goes to make a play on this, and the question is whether or not he had it. He did not.
I think he doesn't get up and run because he knows he doesn't catch it.
Yeah, well, he turns and tries to show the official
Both
that he
teams
made
are
the
directed
play.
to their benches.
Look at that. Chris Baker at the end of the play lays into Nick Foles. And they now throw 3 flags down on the field. As Jason Peters, the left tackle, goes right after Chris Baker. After Baker does that right there to Nick Foles. And thankfully Nick Foles is up and looks to be okay. Mike Pereira joins us. Troy, sorry to cut you off, from Los Angeles. And well, these officials have got to get control of this football game, Mike.
Well, this is as close to being out of hand as anything I've seen this year. You know, you've got the incomplete pass ruling here. But what you're going to get is all of these fouls. The hit on Foles happens first, but then you have the skirmish and the fight, and likely all of those will offset. It'll go back to incomplete.
Unnecessary roughness. Washington, number 92, hit on the quarterback, and number 92 has been disqualified from the game.
So Baker's out of the game. Mike, you saw what we saw. They initially said interception, but it doesn't look like that was an interception.
After the play was over,
there's the hit that takes Baker out of the game.
Philadelphia, number 71, and number 71, number 71 for Washington, and number 71 is disqualified.
Well, now Washington's lost their left tackle.
Both of these 15-yard penalties will be enforced.
Here's the reaction by Trent Williams as he's been ejected. So Williams is ejected. Baker is ejected from the Washington side. Peters, for the moment, is still in the ball game. All of that off this, but this followed, Mike Pereira, what looked to be an incomplete pass, even though they ruled it initially an interception.
Right, and that's the part of this now that has to go back, is go make this an incomplete pass. And we all see this. Watch the ball go to the ground, hits the ground, so the pass is incomplete. So they'll reverse it to an incomplete pass. Now you got to go back and see what's going to be enforced and what's not going to be enforced. And you've got fouls by both teams. The question then, will it offset? That's what Tony Carini is going to have to figure out, and he'll get a chance to look at this under the hood and also talk to New York.
Meanwhile, Troy, another ball got away from Nick Foles. He had his receiver wide open on that play.
Yeah, I believe it was a tight end who he had, and the ball just got away from him. That hit by Chris Baker is a hit that the league they took out of the league back in 2002. It was a playoff game between the Chicago Bears and the Eagles. They took out Jim Miller. And they don't want these quarterbacks exposed like that on a change of possession. And Chris Baker takes a shot at him, and that's what initiated the scrum.
Somehow Foles is able to get up. Boy, he just got crunched, and for a moment there it looked like it was going to be a serious injury. And now Jay Gruden gets a visit from Tony Corrente as they try to restore order. Chris Baker, the nose tackle, is out.
The previous play will go under review.
There's no doubt that this ball will stay with Philadelphia. Then the question is, how will they mark off these penalties? But that's not an interception. We expect that call to be overturned. We'll get it when we come back. We'll get the call right now from Tony Corrente.
After review, there is no interceptions. The ball hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. It will be Philadelphia's ball, 2nd down and 10 at the 24-yard line. Would the game clock operator please reset the game clock to 10:03. There is also correction on the disqualifications. It was number 92 for Washington and number 71 for Philadelphia have been disqualified.
So that's why there's no penalty enforced, because they called the wrong team. So now Philadelphia loses their all-pro tackle Jason Peters. He's out of the game, and Philadelphia now has no more extra offensive linemen to bring in. They started the game with Kevin Graff, a rookie from USC, not active. The same for Matt Tobin.
Play as a result of a penalty may stay in the game.
Matt Tobin's been battling a left ankle injury, and so now the only guy they have, somebody who signed last week, Wade Smith, will come in along the offensive line, and they are out of reserves on the O-line for Philadelphia as Jason Peters, who was sticking up for Nick Foles, gets ejected because of the hit by Chris Baker.